Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I am back on home turf, as you can see, and I have to say I'm like really happy to be back on home turf. Gosh, it has been a whirlwind 3 weeks, I'm telling you, but it's been exciting. It's been an exciting last 3 weeks. I just got back from my little trip to Los Angeles, and I figured, what's really weird is after you've taken these long kind of cross-country trips, and then you take a flight that's only like 45, 50 minutes in the air, it's just weird. I mean, the plane went up, got our drink, and the plane came down. And I thought, there was a point where those were the only flights I would do, and now those are like piece of cake. Piece of cake. Do I ever stay home? Well, Kat, come on now, my story is up until just a few years ago, you couldn't get me on an airplane. No way, no how. I missed out on eBay Lives. I missed out on all the good stuff because I wouldn't get on an airplane. And I overcame that because, by Jove, the drive that I was missing out on something was much stronger than my fear of getting on that airplane. So, and this is a good lesson, you guys, because this goes for whatever you do in life. Those fears that hold you back, those things that make you go, I ain't doing that. If you do them, push yourself, do them, then do them again, every time it gets easier to the point you start looking back and going, why was I so afraid of that? And that's how you build that confidence, and you build that drive to go forward and take more risks and do more things. So, and I know fear, this isn't what I was going to talk about tonight, but I hear so much anxiety and fear and what ifs and all of that stuff every day when I'm talking to sellers. And I really, really want to encourage you guys to look at those very things that you're feeling so anxious about and just push through them and just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Think about what's the worst that can happen. What is the worst? My she's not here, so I'm going to out her. My dear daughter, Jordan, and Diva Dawn was with me this weekend at the conference we went to, and we sat at dinner, and we're talking to Jordan, and I'm telling you, that girl had every reason in the book for not doing the things that she really wants to do with her life. All of those what ifs, but this could happen. But this could happen, but. And there was no convincing her otherwise. And to her, it's reality. It's this is things that happen in this world. It's real. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. I mean, that stuff just holds us back. I wish I could infuse, 20 years of life into her at this point, because how many of us have regrets for not doing things sooner in our life now that we're older and we look back and go, I missed out on so many things. Crazy. Yeah, I'm sure my mom can relate. I bet she wishes she'd have been doing eBay 10 years ago with me. Huh, Mom? My mom is Bobby Bushy, for those that don't know. Exactly. So, anyway, if this is your first time at the show, this is just me. I have my little list of notes that I'm supposed to go through, but sometimes you just gotta veer off on a way. So there I was. But if you're new to the show, these are recorded. So if you miss a segment and you want to go back and there was something I showed and you want to go back and look at it again, everything's recorded either right here on Spreecast after the show, or they get uploaded to my YouTube channel. And on my YouTube channel, they are by segment, so that if there's just one particular segment that you wanted to go back and review, you can do that too. And of course, I always appreciate that you tell everybody out in your social circles about the show and have them come on over and share in the chat room with us and all that good stuff. So thank you for being here. I also wanted to say I'm home only for a couple of weeks now, and after that I am on my way to Kansas. Now A lot of you know I do my Day with Danny shopping trips and all these little travels that I go, but I am doing something extra special for Kansas, and I have rented a van, and everybody who's flying, your hub is Denver, Colorado. From Denver, Colorado, you got to hop on this little puddle jumper that goes over to Hays, Kansas. So I have put together, oh, I love that, the Danny Mobile. I love that. The Danny Mobile. It will be leaving from Denver, Colorado on Thursday the 24th, I believe. And we're leaving at about 10 in the morning, so that gives people time to get their flights in, or you can come in the night before. And we'll be hopping on a van and driving to Hays. Now, we are going to make a couple stops, of course, and we are going to shop our way to Hays as well. So, trip there, trip back to Denver saves you that puddle jumper flight, and we get to shop and learn, and you get to pick my brain that entire trip. Oh, and I will pay your Kansas Jubilee registration for this as well. So, and I'll remind you again at the end of the show when we're talking more about events, a little more that's included, but it's thedannyapp.com/Kansas if you want to go get all the good info on that. So just wanted to mention that right up front, that I'm filling that up quick because I'm only going to take the first 8 people, and we've already got half full. So there you go. And I need to let you know, this segment is brought to you by my good friends at bubblefast.com. They have all of your shipping supply needs, and in fact, I know there's something I'm forgetting to order, and I'm hoping it comes to me as we're talking about a little bit about shipping. But guys, don't wait. 4th quarter, it's here, it's now. Go get your shipping supplies. Yes, they get them out quickly, they get them out fast, but remember, the more orders come in, the more we're going to be making them work like, 18-hour days to get all those orders out. So let's be kind and go get our fall supplies in now and use the code Danny for your discount. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, guys. So size matters. You're probably going, what the heck is she talking about? I just like it when I can come up with a little controversial title. Makes people come over, be curious. What are we talking about? But I'm going to be talking in some later segments about some big pieces of plush that I sold recently. And when you're out looking for things, and I noticed this too on the shopping trip, there's a lot of small stuff that is worth a lot of money. Let's not make a mistake there. But when you're looking at things like plush or certain types of dishes and figurines, trinkets and stuff, sometimes the size really makes the difference between whether you can ask $20 or whether you can ask $200. And I have a case in point to show you a little later in the show. But especially with plush, another important thing is to use the right words when you are describing something that is large. Don't be afraid to use the word large, huge, giant, and jumbo. Depending on what your customers call it, those are really great key words that let them know, set the expectation, this is a large item. The other caveat I wanted to mention now, you guys know, ginormous. Okay, I don't know if your customers are putting ginormous in there, but I like that word. The other thing you want to really be aware of is that when you are offering free shipping, which you guys know I'm a huge advocate of, when you have a large item, and by large I mean anything that is going to be over 12 cubic inches square. So that's why it asks you if any one side is over 12 inches, because then there is the likelihood that perhaps it can be an oversized item. So if it's over 12 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches, then you don't want to offer expedited shipping. This is really important because I have heard of a lot of sellers getting caught into this sticky situation. It can really upset a customer now when all of a sudden you come back and say, I'm sorry, I can't ship this priority. It needs to go parcel or UPS or whatever that is. So be really careful on those large items that don't, and that's a good gauge, is that the larger of the priority mailbox, we call it a number 7, is a 12 by 12 by 10. If it doesn't fit into that box easily, then you're probably looking at oversized, okay? And if you put it into a poly bag, a large poly bag, and that's a poly bag that's going to be over that, combined total of 12 by 12 by 12, and you can kind of figure that. You guys know I'm not going to sit here and do the math for you, but if one side is, say, 18 inches and another side is 10 inches by 10 inches, you're probably okay, because, see, you can make up that, it's the overall cubic inches. So if you are better at math than I am, that will be easier for you. If not, just go ahead and offer standard shipping or economy, actually, is what Parcel Select is. Now, here's the cool thing. If somebody nearby you, like in the state over or the same state, buys that item, upgrade them. Upgrade them. Yes, yes, yes. Beth says that the priority mailbox is 12 by 12 by 8. Is it 8? I could have sworn it was 10. But either way, if it doesn't fit in there, that's your gauge. That's your gauge. Awesome. So it's 8. Yeah, and that's another good lesson too. Sometimes I have taken 2 of those boxes and put them together to make them 12 by 12 by 12. So yeah, absolutely, you are right, because you can add 4 inches onto the top of that and still be within the right size. Yeah, the regional rate C, you guys, is pretty expensive. I wouldn't recommend that. I would say go with the economy shipping on those large items, play it safe, and then you can always upgrade if it turns out you can get them into something that's faster and then it's going to delight them. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, BubbleFast also runs a Facebook group that is nothing but shipping tips and tricks, you guys, and you can ask all your shipping questions over in that group. And I think we even have a link for that that we weren't prepared to put up there, but since we're talking about it over there in the chat, there we go. You guys are welcome to go over and join that group. Awesome group. Ask all your shipping questions. And then, shipping's tricky. And I will tell you, did a lot of planning while I was away this weekend. You know, when you're sitting in your hotel room and you don't have your DVR to go back and watch all those shows you're missing, what better is there to take a notebook and start planning out what the future holds, right? So I've got some really cool stuff coming, you guys. I've got shipping videos and listing videos and all kinds of cool stuff that I want to create for you, because I hear the same painful things over and over and over out there. And I really want to help you guys solve those problems and be more confident in your selling world, and just be able to concentrate on just making oodles of money, keeping it fun. That's the fun part, is making that oodles of money, right? Also, in regards to size, I wanted to talk about your stores, your eBay stores. So it's pretty much a given fact that you're going to sell a certain percentage of what you list each month. And this can, vary from seller to seller and from type of items, but I will tell you something. The more of the same type of item that you list, you will sell. I know, it's kind of a simple math thing, but really think about this, guys. I push niche like all over the place now because of Cassini, because of the way people are shopping, because of marketing getting a little tougher. Yes, you can sell everything. You can still do that, and you can still get good sales, but you're going to have an easier time if you can narrow in on a specialty, and then you can start marketing more effectively, and you'll be listing more of the items that the customers that are coming in on any particular item are looking for. So I have a little rule of thumb I wanted to share with you, because I do still sell a little bit of everything. It's so hard to leave stuff on the shelf. I know, I get it, I get it. So I have shelves over here in my office, which you can't see, but I have shelves that I start collecting like items when I'm outsourcing. So right now I have a shelf of brass items. I have a shelf of trinket boxes. This just happens to be what I have on the shelf right now. I'm looking over at it. I have a shelf of mid-century glassware, and I have a shelf of Hummels, and then of course I have my glass items. And the reason I do that is so that I can then wait until I have enough of those items that I have listings going up, and I like my 10 a day, so I like to have at least 20 items before I start doing the sell similar thing. But that way, while I can still sell everything, then at least that week I'm selling a lot of the same thing, consistency. It's easier to list by the sell similar, and I'm pulling in those customers. Should you have different stores for different things? And so this is kind of a two-part answer. If you're going to have more than one niche, then you should have it in separate stores. Now, I know all my appsters are going, what? Here's the deal. If you don't have one store that's running successfully, that's running with a lot of automation, that's everything you want it to be, I don't recommend starting another store. When you have that first store and you have it just going smoothly and you have the sales that you want and you're successful there, go ahead, open another store with a new niche. Make sense? Otherwise what happens is your first store over here starts suffering as you're working on your second store over here, and then you're diluting both of those stores by not being able to spend the time that they need. So I'm all for it if you want to go into two separate niches, but be sure you can devote what you need to both of your stores, because you guys know this is kind of a full-time operation, taking care of a store and bringing in a full-time income. Yep. And like Cheryl says, she doesn't want to give eBay that much money. But really, I have not found a seller yet that couldn't narrow in more on their niche and do raving sales right within the store that they have. It's so hard, I know, to leave stuff on the shelves, you guys, but you have to start thinking of, I'm not just leaving something on the shelf, I am making more money by leaving that on the shelf because I get to concentrate on my business where it needs to be. Yep. All right, and we're going to have some good examples of some success that niches have here coming up. Look at me, I'm already running over time. So where the size matters thing comes in is to build up your store, build up the number of like items in your store, because the more like items you list, the more like items you sell, your sell-through rate will go up, because every customer that comes in your store is your ideal customer, and that's the key. All right? All right.
Who let them cows out? Moo, 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 moo.